let's be honest. When we don't know something, what do? Or we Google it, right? We ask Siri or we hit up YouTube. And whilst that's super handy, have you ever stopped to ask, what's all this searching actually doing to our brains? Well, today we're diving into something called the Google effect. And it's not as straightforward as you may think. Let's take a look. So what is the Google effect? Well, the Google effect is basically what happens when we rely on search engines instead of our own memory. So instead of remembering facts, we remember where to find them. It's like we're outsourcing our memory to the internet. It's efficient, yeah, but it's also a little bit risky. So what does the research say? Well, research shows that we're more likely to forget information if we know it's easy to find online. I mean, why bother remembering stuff if we can just Google it, you know? But that's the problem. This habit means that we stop properly engaging with what we read. We skim, we search, we move on. And that can mess with our ability to think critically or to hold on to things in the long run. Now, look, I'm not saying that the internet is bad, right? I mean, let's face it, it's pretty amazing, really. And on the one hand, right, it boosts our short-term memory in that it gives us these fast answers, right? But on the other hand, it weakens our cognitive areas such as analysis, retention, problem solving. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? We've got the easy access to knowledge, but it makes it harder to store it and then to understand and recall that knowledge. So what strategies are there to kind of balance this? Now, one of the things that we can do, and one of the things we can start using straight away, is something that we call active recall. And why does this help? Well, it helps because it forces our brain to pull info from our memory rather than just looking it up again. So try this. Right? After reading something online, just close down the tab. Now say or write down what you remember. Then open up the tab and check if you got it right. Now repeat this a few hours later and then the next day. And what you'll find is that this starts to build those neuro links. You can then try practicing what we call the search later rules. And what this does is it breaks the habit of reaching out for Google the second that we're curious. So try this. Keep a look it up later list in your notes, right? Wait 10-15 minutes before searching. And in the meantime, try and remember, try and recall what you already know about what it is you're going to look up. And again, this helps to strengthen our memory, but it also will boost your confidence. Next, do a deep dive every day. What this does is deeper learning, again, helps our brain build stronger connections. Try this, right? Pick one topic that you normally skim through. Spend 20 minutes reading or watching something in depth about it. Then make a quick summary or a mind map. Another top tip you can do is you can use what we call memory-friendly tools, right? So we don't have to ditch tech, right? I'm not saying we get rid of tech altogether and go back to slate. I'm just saying let's use it more cleverly. Right, use spaced repetition apps like Quizlet. Use Google to find flashcards. Test yourself instead of relying on the instant answers. Now let's bust a myth here, right? Google isn't making us stupid. But if we use it mindlessly, we can lose our edge. The trick isn't to stop searching, it's to search smarter and remember more deliberately. So look, the Google effect is real. It shapes how we think, it shapes how we learn, it shapes how we remember. But we are not powerless in this. If we mix up our digital tools with our existing brain strategies, we can get the best of both worlds. Now, if this has got you thinking, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share, and tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you always end up Googling? Thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.